Okay, we are live. It is Wednesday. It is needle felting day. Or no, it's Tuesday. Oh goodness. I don't even know what day it is. It is Tuesday. It's needle felting day. Wednesday is Planet Zoo. I'm advancing the week already. Alrighty. So we are working on the husband's Christmas present slowly. Oh, that's what I forgot. Can you give me your Sluggy? I had gotten up to grab him and forgot to grab him. So, this is the finger puppet version that my husband has. So, we're gonna needle felt him one. Because, you know, I don't know what else to give him for Christmas. I'm running out of stuff to do for him. Say, that's not good. Not good at all. Alrighty. So when we last left off, we were coloring the back, and that is where we will be picking back up today. I am just using some acrylic yarn. Traditionally, most people just use like wool roving, but not always feasible for everybody, especially if you have a wool allergy. That would not be a fun time for you. But I did read that you could use acrylic yarn, and we've been using mostly acrylic yarn for some time. And it's not so bad to use. It does involve a little bit more prep work than, say, the roving that you can just use right out of the packaging. But I have a lot more color options with the acrylic yarn that doesn't involve me dyeing roving. And that's great if that's an avenue you want to take. I don't really have the patience for that, or the space for it to dry and everything to keep it out of the cats getting into it, and I really don't want a dyed cat from them being too inquisitive for their own good, so I'll just save myself the time and the energy and the frustration and just go the yarn route. That's fine. Yarn does require a little bit of prep work to it because it comes in the skeins and plied and all that, and you need to untwist it essentially. So I have a video on the YouTube channel on the needle felting playlist. I think it's the first video on there for how I prep my yarn. Pretty much similar to how other people do theirs. And that has been working for me. Now, some people will use roving as the core for their creatures, and then like use acrylic yarn on top of it. That is an option. Some people will use armature wire or pipe cleaners to wrap their roving around and to build it that way. I've tried the wire. I'm not a huge fan of the wire, But what I have found that works for me, it gives me a pretty good base. Now, if you needed this like really sturdy, you could stick some wire up in there, like in the middle of it. But what works for me is Polyfill. Because believe it or not, Polyfill is feltable, apparently, where you can use your needle to stab through it and compress all that and get it to hold its shape. I didn't really know that it was quite possible to use that until I was working on something else and I was just blowing through so much white yarn for what I was trying to do, and then I was like, you know what, this stuff's white. Can I use this? And I could. So I was like, hey, sometimes experimenting works out to benefit us. Oh, hey. I forgot to put something on my list and I added it in. I edited one of the items I sent you and added the link in there. It's not super expensive. I think it's like 12 bucks. But I had forgotten to add it. So we are just kind of working our way through now. It is pretty dense because I made sure that the polyfill was pretty tight just because I didn't want it to deform. That does mean adding the color stage can be a little bit more time consuming. And take a little bit more time to do. Just because of how thick this is, like the needle needs a little bit more gentleness with it. So it's going to need a little bit of patience to work that color on in there. I mean, we'll get it in there eventually. It just might not be like super, super fast, that's all. So the color I'm currently using is a mustard yellow from the paint box line of Simply Chunky. And I got that through Lovecrafts. No sponsor, not sponsored, no sponsorship. Because I know mustard, any shade really, can mean very, or look very different, same color name, between different yarn brands. And I know some photos of banana slugs are bright, bright yellow. Husband liked this more earthy version of it. So that's what we're doing. Now, I'm also planning to try to make a little display log to put this guy on. I'm not going to solidly build the log. I'm going to kind of make a shell and then stuff the shell pretty tightly with our extra polyfill. just because that's probably a little crazy to build that. What is all the thumping? You're hearing that, right?
I'm not hearing any thumping.
It just stopped. Like it almost felt like an air pressure thump. That. What the fuck was that?
I don't know. I'll go check and see if your mom's okay.
It's like an air pressure, like thump thump. Like I could feel it in my.
Whatever it might be, it's not your mom, and I just saw the kitten, so.
That's so weird. Like I felt it in my inner ear. Like it almost felt like the fridge closing, but deeper. That was strange. Okay. And that fast I have forgotten what I was talking about. Doesn't take much to distract me. All right. So we will get all of this worked into here. Like, there it goes again. Maybe it's from construction. It's getting really bizarre. Okay. Closest place that they're doing construction that I know of is it looks like they're adding a pickleball court to the tennis courts not too far away. But they didn't look like they were doing anything down there that would be causing this level of vibration or anything, so it's kind of unnerving. I don't think they're doing anything else nearby that we would be feeling. So it's really strange. And they're not doing any cannon demonstrations or anything. That last one kind of made the house shake a little. I wish they would have to put out notices when they're going to be doing something like that. So, like, people know not to be too weirded out by it. Because it's kind of creepy. Okay, so I'm gonna need a bit more in there. It's not really fully attached in there. I mean, they're doing something somewhere because there's been a bunch of dump trucks going through town. But I don't know what they're doing still. That they would be needing this level of dump truckage. To be happening. What?
No, I heard a noise. It was cow getting on the water.
Grand mystery. And very unsettling. Okay. So yeah, we're just kind of in the mind-numbingly boring stages of adding color to this guy. To be perfectly honest. It's kind of exciting. We're supposed to be getting a Domino's opening soon. In our town, so we don't have to go to the next town over. And we are also getting our own McDonald's. They've been talking about it since COVID. But they were starting to hire for it, so they are definitely on their way. To getting there. Slowly but surely. Alright. So, I'm gonna divide this down into 2 bits here. Just so that way I can take some little breaks in between. I know some people like to use larger chunks of fluff, and that's fine if that's what you prefer. I prefer to go with some smaller bits, just so I can take little breaks while I'm getting more fluff ready to add. Give my neck and my shoulder a chance to not be all nerve from stabbing everything. I will say I much prefer painting with the wool than I do making the creatures. For sure. So, but, you know, we can't do the paintings all the time. This is like the one time of year that I don't do the paintings. That I will do a critter of some description. Alright, so I'm just gonna start tacking this down. Make sure that we've got our finger protectors on, especially when we're doing the critters, because we never know if we're gonna hit a thin spot. Like right there feels a little bit looser. I can feel the needle going in a little bit deeper. So you never know if you're gonna come out at a weird angle. And accidentally stab thyself, so now you can still injure yourself with these on. That's not a hold my beer challenge. You can. You certainly can. I've done it. But it's more like a tiny little needle prick than the entire needle entering your finger. Which might require an urgent care visit because there are little barbs on the needle. So I don't know if I would recommend pulling that out on your own. That would probably need some help. Just to make sure you don't do more damage trying to remove it. And I imagine it would be extremely painful. I did get some video editing done last night. So I finished up video 47, which I was partway through. I think that one had been a 2-hour clip. I got through 48, which was around an hour. And then I started 49. I have about 45 minutes left on that one. I could have possibly finished that last night, but it was starting to get late and I was getting pretty tired. So I was like, yeah, let's go ahead and pause that. At the spot I was at, the dog was already mad that I hadn't gone to bed yet. Well, Suzu. Snuffles doesn't really seem to care. With Snuffles, I can keep whatever bedtime I so choose, but she does need breakfast by a certain time in the morning, or else she gets a bit stomach acidy. And then that's not a good time, but old man wants me in bed by a certain time so he can get cuddles. He's like, lady, I put up with your nonsense all day. It's time for bed. Although I have found lately that if I take my headphones off and he can hear whatever I was listening to, it seems to buy me a little bit more time. To get a little bit more work done. Okay. Oh, this section. Part of it felt a little bit easier to stab into, and then I hit another spot where it was like, no. No, this spot's not gonna be as easy as you were thinking it was. Alright. So let's see, where are we at? Sorry, I didn't know what the noise was when the cat was messing with something. Alright, so I'm gonna come back in here. Try to lay that piece around there. And we're just in this colorization phase, base color of the body. We got the stomach or underside, whichever you want to refer to it as, colored in already. So now we're kind of working on the top part. You can't go outside with him loose.
Huh? Okay.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll watch for him. That's why our window's open. Okay.
Where is he right now?
He's definitely not in this room. He's in the kitchen.
Okay, if that cat gets out, it's on you. Alright. Come here, Bean. Come here. Come here. You're too damn nosy. You're too damn nosy. What? What's he doing? What's he doing? Why don't you go play with Cow Cow? Cow Cow lost your springs. I keep giving you springs to play with, and Cow Cow keeps. Actually, I don't know. We had 60 freaking springs in this house. 60! And do you think we can find a single one of them? Hell no. What'd y'all do with them? They're all gone. Here's one. I swear. These cats. I have no idea. We literally had a bag of 60 plastic springs. And I see two. I have no idea where they've all gone. They were all under the husband's desk at one point, but they're not there anymore. He managed to get one of his little balls with the bells in them mixed into our recycling in our kitchen. I accidentally kicked one of the recycling buckets and I was over in that part of the kitchen and I heard it jingle. But I couldn't find it, so I had to wait until I took the recycling out to find the dang thing. And of course, now Bean and Cow are sitting there staring out the door, being nosy. If our porch was screened in, I wouldn't be as nervous about it. But Bean has gotten out before, and he's such a little brat that he would do it again. And I don't really want him loose. Oh, now they're gonna wrestle. Okay. Well, Cal, this is your punishment for messing with Littles earlier when I told you not to. Told you to get out of her space and leave her alone. And you didn't, and she got all nasty with you. And you were being a bully. So now you can deal with Mr. Bean and babysit. Well, you know. And he's winning and making these noises. I don't know if he's trying to teach the kitten what stop means or what. That kitten doesn't understand what the words stop and no mean. He has just been a bundle of go, 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 go the past couple of days. But the past couple of days, we've had to go and run errands unexpectedly and all of the things. So he hasn't been able to be out causing his chaos. because we don't trust him unsupervised and not to run out the door. Just his favorite thing to do as we're trying to come in. He was getting better about it with the other room about not charging out the door when we opened it, but when he's especially wound up, all bets are off. But yeah, that front porch of ours is not screened in. So I really don't trust him not to bolt out of it and bolt into traffic. Because he can be quite stubborn when he wants to do something. He's gonna do it. No matter what anybody else tells him. Alright. So, gonna just work on trying to catch the rest of this up. It's a little thin there still. So I'm not really sure how I want to anchor that in. It's like I need to overlap it a little bit in a couple different places. A up there to cover the thin spot, and B I need to overlap the brown so that the body looks like it's coming over the bottom, like the top of the body. Now see, right in there now feels a touch thin. This is just like whack-a-mole here. Like, it might not actually be, but the way that this yarn is shaded, it feels like it is. So I'm kind of in the mindset of, well, I'd rather just like slap some more on it right now than regret doing so later. So at least if I do it now, I know I tried to get that in a bit better shape, and then it's not like glaring at me when I think I'm done. And then have to go back and fix it anyway. Okay. So they're starting to get everybody like in storm pay attention mode already for this weekend. They're like the 6-day models. They've got almost the entire state. Almost. Or maybe it is the entire state of Arkansas. Hatched for a chance of severe storms for Saturday, this Saturday. So I'm like, oh no. We've had a pretty quiet fall so far. We had the one day where they were watching for storms, and there were a couple tornado warnings near us and tornado possible tags near us. I think we might have had a tornado possible tag at one point. But it didn't end up being too bad for us here, but we did have a couple days of just torrential downpours, and we just fixed the one side of the driveway. Well, we partially fixed the one side of the driveway. The rain had washed out a lot of the gravel that we had up there near where we pull in, and he just spent like $70 on sand and gravel sand and more gravel, and it wasn't even enough to fully fix the one side. Like, we still need more. And if anybody was here yesterday, no, we did not get a bearded dragon. He was tempted. Oh, it was a good sale. And he's been wanting one for a really long time. But he decided to wait. Especially since we have this trip coming up in April. It's not going to be a very long trip. We're not going back to Key West as much as I want to. I mean, honestly, I'd rather like spend a day shelling and then go down to Key West, but we don't have the money for that right now. We will barely have the money saved to do this so my mom can go see her sister again and my brother. So we are just going down there to while she's visiting with them, we're not real big on visiting. We've got nothing to say. We're very boring people. And we're not all in the family gossip and all that, so it's like meh. Like we really don't care about family gossip and all that. And we're very like uncomfortable in those sort of situations. So we're just gonna drop my mom off, spend the night in the town that my brother lives, get pizza from the place I like there, and then we're gonna go down to the Fort Myers area. And there's this like big indoor like flea market thing. I forget what it's called, that we're gonna check out one day. Another day we're gonna go shelling, maybe miniature golf. And we might go down to Cape Coral to their zoo one day just to kill time. Essentially. I don't know. We'll see. We might just do an extra day on the beach to not have to be running anywhere. We will see. Like, I'm not dead set on Cape Coral Zoo. It doesn't have to happen. Maybe we'll do Lover's Key State Park one day, and maybe we'll do Fort Myers Beach a different day. Instead. Like, I don't know what I want to do with these shells, but I kind of just want to go shelling. Seems fun. And kind of exciting. Because the only shells that I grew up seeing were your basic ass bitch thick clamshells, essentially, um, around South Jersey. Like, there weren't any of these fun, like, conch shells or any little tiny baby shells and the different snails and everything. Up there. So it was just like the same old boring clamshell. And I mean, after about the 50th one that looks the same, it kind of is like, okay, I'm over this. There's nothing else exciting here. At least never at the times I went. And there weren't really too many shells down in Key West. There was a few, but it was more like bits of broken coral. I mean, I brought a couple shells home. I have no idea what happened to them. We brought them home, and they got lost. I don't know where they are. I don't know if they all broke on the way home or what. So what's up with that?
Nothing. Works. Well. I'm glad I checked it because the person who tested it before they sold it left all the batteries plugged in.
What kind of batteries does it take?
9-volt. The 3 total. 2 for the main thing and 1 for the little hand thing.
So I'm thinking we might skip the zoo and just do 2 days at the beach. Maybe the one day we'll go to the state park and the other day we can metal detect on the other beach.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if we can metal detect at the state park.
Oh, almost certainly not.
Like, I don't think we can.
Yeah,
like,
look up the laws to check. But
yeah. Like, I don't think we can. I don't know. Like, I'm not sold on going to the zoo, and it would be another day of driving. I don't know.
we'll figure it out.
Watch the kitten.
Yeah, I am. And I can confirm where the boundary marker is now.
Oh?
Yeah.
And let me guess, the carport is well within it.
Yes, well within.
So they put like metal boundary spikes in on the property line the time that his mom had to have a survey done. And the person doing the survey showed her where they put them, but then she kind of lost track of them. And the guy that owned the property next door was getting all uppity and was saying that our carport was more than halfway over the property line. And we're like, no, it's not. And they were insisting that it was, and we thought we were going to have to freaking pay for another survey. And his mom's like, no, the boundary line's about here. And then he ended up selling the property to his brother. That guy was always getting pissy, swearing that the carport was on his property. We're like, it's not on the property. If that was the case, when the house was sold to his mom, that carport would have had to have been taken down. He was just a crazy fool. Like, we were deeply concerned trying to look up property boundaries with the city at one point because we thought he was going to make a legal thing of it. And we're like, it's not, though. Alright. This. Tagged into there. So where are we exactly? Okay. So we should at least finish up the body color today, I hope. Like the main body color. We probably won't be completely done the body. Because, like, I still have to do the head and all. Like, the head's gonna sit up here. I just haven't finished putting that all together. And that's probably going to be a slightly different color than the underside. More than likely. I think I know what color I'm going to do that with. So just working on getting this bit of color all stabbed in here. As best as we can. So I need to take just a moment, stretch out my arm here. So while I'm doing that, so actually we might be able to use it on Lover's Key as long as we just fill in any holes. We don't disturb any dunes or turtle nests.
Oh, okay.
And we don't use it in the water. I think. Somebody had posted, well that was also in 2012. So we'll have to look up their website and see if we can find some more up-to-date information. So we might be able to. Okay. So we'll get this popped into here so we can, like, we'll have the cooler with us. We can throw some drinks in it. Bring some snackies.
So it varies by park.
Mm-hmm.
Still can't for federal level, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
like,
the place I was thinking of going was Lover's Key, and then Fort Myers is a public beach. I guess like you can't use the underwater detectors, maybe. Because there are some that can go underwater. Okay. So it is taking a bit, but this guy is of a fairly decent size here. Like he doesn't even completely fit on the mat, so I mean that's not a surprise. So I think I want to just kind of keep going through there. Oh, and now we've got the star one. Best viewers on star star star. Well, what's the star 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 supposed to be? We'll never know. I don't know if automod is why it started or whatever. I mean, I guess thanks for the view. I guess. When was this account created anyway? 2 days ago.
We should be good in Fort Myers.
Okay, what about Lover's Key?
What's it called again?
Lover's Key State Park? Lovers. Key like a house key? Okay. We'll get this all worked into there. So I haven't been stabbing through entirely. At least not yet. So we are like kind of here, kind of. Just gonna start to tack this in. In these areas. So once we're done with Christmas gifts, we'll get back to doing some Bob Rossi stuff. I might need to get more magnets. So I think I'm starting to get low. I've got enough for a few more. And I still have plenty of wood for all the pieces for it.
Should be fine there too.
Okay.
Just can't go up on the dunes or anything.
Well, obviously.
Yeah, and you can hand dig at the edge of the water, but you can't like seriously dig. So like we can't, if we catch something that's at the edge of the water, we can get it by hand.
What do you mean at the edge of the water? Where the waves are coming up or where the water's like always at?
Like where the waves are coming up, we can dig in there.
Mm-hmm.
But we can only do like hand dig level stuff, so
Like we can't use a little beach shovel?
yeah, we can use a little beach shovel. It's just like you can't salvage, which is what digging in the water turns out to be.
Oh.
So yeah.
I mean, as long as we fill our hole back in.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
So nobody trips or anything. I mean, I doubt we'll really find anything, but
Yeah, probably not.
it'll give you something to do while I'm looking for shells. So that way you're not bored out of your gourd. Okay. Next bit of fluffy stuff coming on in here. And we will keep on trucking along. So we are like here. So we've got a good little chunk to work on filling in here. Not too bad. Alright, so we need a bit more fluffy fluff. So this one's gonna kind of lay in here about. Like, I know it looks like I'm still in the same spot. I'm not in the same exact spot. We're close. But it's not exactly the same. Okay. A little bit kind of, he's being a little fussy about laying flat there. Alright. So I do have a little tiny bit of water there off to the side, just in case anybody's being a little less than cooperative. I could just add a little drop of water to persuade it to be a little more cooperative. This piece was a little bit unruly here. I wonder how much that guy paid for that metal detector.
There was an old order form on there. He probably paid like 150 to 200 for it.
Holy shit, and you got it for $10?
It is an older model.
Still.
Yeah. Well, why do you think I snapped it up when I saw it?
I mean, as long as it works.
Yeah.
Who cares how old it is?
Like I said, I think he ran afoul of the whole federal law thing based off how they were talking. And
like, you can't really metal
off.
detect around here.
Yeah.
Because everything that they find, even like the 50 millionth arrowhead, you need to turn over and shit.
Well, again, private property and federal property and so on. There's very few places left to look.
I wouldn't really see this as an area where you could get away with that. Okay. Overlap that a little bit there. But we're getting there. Stabbing's going a little bit faster in this part of the body. Not as dense as the upper section. I mean, it's a little dense, don't get me wrong. It's not like super soft, but a figurine we are not. Yeah, no, we're making a figurine. We're not making a plushie. There we go. That's what I wanted to say. Plushie, this is not. Okay. I think we're gonna take him early again today. Since we have to turn the clocks back soon. And it's gonna be dark at freaking way too soon for my liking.
Sorry, what's that?
We have to turn the clocks back on
Oh,
November on November 2nd.
Uh-huh.
But I just want to start getting him into the routine of us going early and then that's it.
Okay.
Because they're going to be closing at dark and pretty soon our time of going after dinner is not going to be feasible. Unless we take him to the other place. Okay. Sorry, I'm just stretching out the leggies. Leggies are a little achy today. I have to be careful how I stretch my legs out, though. Bean's around somewhere. And, ooh, is he wired today? He was like latching on to my ankles and not letting go. And then he was trying to latch onto my legs. He grabbed a Russell's leg this morning before he got up and really bunny feeted him hard. Where he looks like he fell and scraped his knee. That's how bad it looks. I was like, oh. Like, look here, kitten. I don't hear cow either, so I don't know if they're just in the other room or what. Is the bucket in the trash can?
Check.
I feel like they've been quiet for too long and now I'm nervous about what the hell they're getting into.
No, it's not. They're not.
Okay. Guess I could have just made that all one piece there. My mom had to go and get a storage bin to put Christmas gifts in because the cats smelled the cat toy that she bought um my brother's new cat or whatever, and Cal would not stop trying to rip into her one um like armoire thing that we had to tie shut for her to keep it closed because the magnets gave up on it, and every magnet we've tried to put on there since is like, no. No amount of gluing or anything was holding it. The one magnet held for a little bit, and then it was like, nope, I'm not gonna hold anymore. Maybe if we tried that Gorilla super glue, but I don't even know if we have the right magnets for it anymore, and there was like nothing to glue it to either. I'm not quite sure what happened to all of it. We may have given up trying to fix it. Just went with a different solution for now. Okay. I'm definitely gonna need to fluff more of this color at some point here. I mean, I think I've got enough to finish the Sluggy. We'll see. Felt like I had a piece of fuzz on my face. Who knows? Probably did. Probably did. I don't know, man. I was feeling accomplished last night, getting through a couple video clips. It helped that the one was only like an hour long. I like them shorter. I feel like I've actually made progress that way. we will see how things go. This bit in here is, I laid that down funny. It was sort of a fail on that. Sort of. You going to pop into here. As best as I can. Oh, have you ever had like a desktop image for your computer for so long that then you decide to change it to something else? And it's like startling every time you see the new picture now. You're like, wait, what? Like I kept thinking I had a photo open. It's a picture I took that I was rather proud of. There's a few that I took one of the sunrise mornings that I got up early enough. And honestly, sunrise seemed to put on a better show. I'm kind of sad I didn't try to go to sunrise a few times more than I did. Okay, so I'm just kind of filling in these blank spots here. The blank spots, the spots that were a little too thinly filled, as we make our way down Slug row here. Like this is one of the more time-consuming bits here that can be a little tedious, trying to get the solid swaths of color worked into there. But we're getting down closer to the end here of this section. So I'm gonna try to get this bit worked into here along our underside. It's like there's the other side where we left off. And we're definitely making our way down towards the tail here. Oh boy, this section we are just gliding into. That's for sure. All of this. So again, I like working in smaller sections. So then I can, take a little resty rest in between, add in bits of color. And I try to overlap my yarn a little bit where I can. Just so I don't have any weird stuff going on in there. Okay. Oh gosh. My hand's all itchy. Had that happen last night with like the top side of my foot. It was weird. Like it was itchy and I scratched it, and then because I scratched it, it was itchy, and then it was just like felt like it was getting itchier and itchier. So then I had to like make a conscious effort not to scratch it so it would calm down. Which was absolutely maddening because I was trying to go to bed and then I could just, skin just felt hot and itchy. Then I started feeling hot and itchy everywhere, and I'm like, dang it. Like, why? Okay. It's always terribly unsettling when that starts to happen. Plus, I had like new pajamas on last night, so I didn't know if I was having like a reaction to the fabric or what. Okay. So I'm trying to hold this guy in place as best as I can. Because it's a little tricky down here near the end of our body. Okay. Really happy with how our seahorse is coming out. Those bubbles actually looked really, really good as they were drying. And they looked like bubbles. I was proud of that. I will take the small victories, right? I will take all of the small victories. As while it might not be like a huge victory to some people, it was a big victory for me, small as it was. I have to be careful with this section because I probably am stabbing through in parts of it. Just judging by how it's kind of behaving here. Yeah. So it's probably hard to see, but there's some little spikies hanging out here. You can kind of see it on the camera. That's from the needle stabbing through. So that's why you want to always be mindful of where your fingers are, especially on the creatures. Do I want to keep going down there? Do I want to, you know what, let's come back up here. And we'll start to get this overlapping up here. Because we still need to deal with that. Like one way or another. So we might as well deal with it now. Mr. Bean fur or cow fur, one of them. They've been climbing all under my desk, or I've had some of my stuff just sitting out in the open, causing all kinds of chaos. We're gonna try to let Mr. Bean loose all night. I think Wednesday night. We will see. I kind of need to shampoo the rug. Been kind of holding off doing it. I just haven't had the energy to deal with it lately. My brain's been wanting to deal with other things instead. So this is still kind of like the underside here. And it's like, why is this being so weirdly bumpy right here? But that is the sort of side, underside. So it's fine. And just work on getting that. Should probably be facing this way so I can see a little bit better. All right. So, question is, do I want to like keep working around back and forth? Or do I just want to like keep moving down all the way? Kind of want to keep moving down all the way. Kind of, sort of. Need to hack that down. I guess it doesn't really matter quite so much as long as it gets filled in the end. Which it will. Slowly but surely. Like this part in here. No, I guess that's okay. Alright. I guess we're all right there. Like it looked a little thin in that spot, but we're probably pretty good there. Alright. So next bit of fluff coming in. All of this stabbed in. Okay. Slowly but surely. Crunch, 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 crunch. So, hold on one second, guys. Sorry, my mom needed something. In fact, give me 1 minute. I just need to get up and stretch, and we'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. Need to go see what was going on. Kitten was kind of stuck on top of the fridge because Littles was not happy about him trying to look out the window with her. She claimed that area as hers. I guess we'll work on adding you about in here. Roughly. Okay. Get this tacked into here. We don't have too much more left on the body. I mean, we do have a bit. Don't get me wrong. We definitely do. Alright. Now. If we can... Well, I mean, it's not a huge amount. It's not like we still have all this to go. We've definitely made progress in that department, but we're not done the body base color yet at all. We definitely still have a little ways to go in that respect. So, I need to add in a couple more colors up around in that area. I have a darker sort of more like our glorious gold color that I want to add in around into that section. And then I want to come back in and add maybe a little bit of this rust color. Bit. Just to get that little bit of a reddish tone into there. We might try to go for a walk tonight to look at people's Halloween decorations. Because this one house tends to go all out with inflatables and such. Like they're running out of lawn space. Pretty soon they're going to be covering their driveway. If they could figure out a way to keep everything from blowing around. We were gonna go last night, and husband got tied up working on something, like planning something out. He was researching something. And when I mentioned it, it was like 10:30. I'm like, we never did this. And he's like, oh yeah. I was like, we could go now. I'm like, yeah, but it's late. And at that point, I was kind of settled in what I was doing. I was getting tired. And I didn't want the doggo to get overly upset at that point for us stepping out. Because sometimes he'll start howling. And I didn't want him being too much of a nuisance. He will just sit there and howl at the door a lot of the time if we don't explain what we're doing. Sometimes even when we say we'll be right back, he'll get all upset-ed. And start howling. I've been in the house and just been in a different room, and the husband stepped out to do something, and all of a sudden I'll hear this noise that sounds like a siren or something going off, and I'm like, what in the hell? And I'll step out of the room, and it's Zuzu howling at the door because Russell stepped out without him. Like, really? Really, guy? It's like, I'm here. Like, he forgot I was here. Or thought I had left too or something. The one day, I was literally in the kitchen doing dishes, and he started it. I'm like, excuse me? What the heck? I was like, what am I? You can hear the water running in the other room. You can literally hear me doing the dishes. Like, well, excuse me, Mr. Doggo. I was not who he wanted. He was not pleased. That his woman had stepped out without him. And that just kind of reaffirmed that I was not his human. I'm like, well, thanks, buddy. I'm the one that actually listens to you and talks to you. I mean, the husband talks to him sometimes, but the husband doesn't cater to him like I do. Like, the dog will come and bug me when he wants something, and then I have to bug the husband to do it for the dog. He's like learned not to bug the husband because the husband doesn't um always acknowledge that he's standing there. And I'm like, what, doggo? Doggo was mad because I wasn't in bed by a certain time last night. I'm like, you don't do this crap to dad. He's like, yeah, because it doesn't work on me. I was like, well, like, maybe it should be working on you. My goodness. I was definitely more Momo's human. Momo was my guy. I don't really have a bond with Snuffles. I'm definitely not her human. Um, the husband is definitely that for her. Okay. So we're almost there. What the heck? There is like a little fly or something in here that's like tapping my face. Rather annoyingly. Okay. So we're just gonna work on getting this little bit worked into here as best as we can. We can get everybody colored up here. See this section, it's a lot easier to see the little stabbies because when I'm stabbing through here, you can actually see the needle glinting there. Gotta watch them fingies. So I don't have that fully colored in there on the very tip of the tail. We're getting there though. Definitely getting there. All right. Just kind of doing just some little anchor taps here and there before I really get in there. Making sure all of it's good and tacked in. Just to make sure we're looking okay here. Not quite sure how I'm going to handle this little bit on the end here. Okay. So this is the bottom, and we're starting to work our way around here. All right, I'm gonna come back up here and start working in all of these loose bits here, along with this next bit of fluff. As best as we can here, but we're not doing too bad. I'm sorry for the little break we took there, but it was definitely needed there. And I don't think we were gone too terribly long. But this is why I start this stuff early, because I never know what life is going to be throwing at me. But it seems as though Saturday I am probably not going to get a lick of anything done if the weather pattern actually does what they're thinking it's going to do. I mean, we are in our fall severe season, and it's been kind of dry, to be perfectly honest. This fall we had that one set of torrential rain. We could do with like a day of some nice gentle rain. I don't know if we'll get it, but we could definitely use that. Like, it rained so hard, we were losing all kinds of rocks in our driveway on both sides. There's like all kinds of divots just pounded in from the way the water was running. Even on the other side of our driveway. It's crazy. Like, I couldn't even try to fill it in with my shoe. Like, the ground was hard compacted. And I'm like, then how the heck did we get these divots in here? It was that much rain. And it just went gangbusters. So I will say, it was raining so hard at times, it was hard to see across the street. Like, we could make out the building, but it was so hazy from the amount of rain, it almost looked like it was snowing. It was wild. Visibility was just gross. Apparently it did flood downtown a little bit. To which I could only scoff at because they had just done all this drainage work to help prevent that. And I'm like, well, yeah, that was money well spent. No, wasn't it? And part of me was like, well, how much worse would it have been had they not done that? These are the questions that I don't know the answers to. Like, our downtown is still an absolute disaster. It still looks like a construction zone, and they finished. They finished phase 1. Everybody's like, are you going to repave the street? There's still a huge metal plate in the middle of the one intersection in the ground. Like, what the heck? Like, this isn't finished, is it? Because this looks like crap. But at the same time, people in this town are crazy. There was a stoplight that had got put in at this one intersection downtown. And then people started bitching, the light's too long, it takes too long. You'll be sitting there at night when there's not any traffic on the other sides. Forever. The town got so mad about this traffic light and kept demanding traffic studies be done that they've now turned it into a four-way stop. Or back into a four-way stop. I'm like, y'all remember when that bypass wasn't here? And the traffic was all going through here? The traffic light was needed and y'all bitched for the traffic light? The apparatus is still there for the stoplight. They took the stoplights themselves down. And they threw up a stop sign on top of these things. I'm like, are you serious? Okay. Sure. Right. Y'all just need to stop sometimes. And they want, like, infrastructure work done. Like, they want the water issues addressed. They want the drainage issues addressed. But they also don't want their taxes raised. And they also don't want these large chain companies coming in. Yeah, you're ruining our small town feel. Well, small towns have drainage problems and infrastructure problems. And I think the small town feel went out the window when the population hit 7,000. So, at this point, maybe just let the chain companies come in and these franchises come in, and then they'll be paying tax dollars to the city, and then the city will have more money to work with to do these things that you want done. So, like, you can't have everything. You've got to give a little. Some company's trying to put a cement plant in, and people aren't happy about that. Everybody's been pitchfork and torching over that, along with a proposed wind farm. And I'm like, okay. But the more we have talked to random people around here, the more I don't want to be here. There are some very backwards thinking people around here that are very set in their ways. Like, we actually met two different people that were like, oh yeah, my granddaughter has ADHD and she's autistic, and these people were not shy about physical punishment when the ADHD got too much for them to deal with. Like, is the child being medicated for the ADHD? Because it kind of sounds like they might need it. At least a little tiny bit. If it's that out of control that coping mechanisms aren't helping. But you can't just punish it out of them. It's the way their brain is chemically operating. Like, that's not, it doesn't work that way. Like, that will never fix it. It will never fix it. It will just make them resent you. Like, ugh. And she seemed very put out that we didn't immediately agree with her. At least the one person. I'm like, oh, we're very bold to just be telling random strangers about this stuff. Wow. All right then. Like, I definitely don't agree with you at all. Alright. So we are probably gonna have to use some shorter stabby strokes in there as we are working around our thinner section here. Because if I just keep going to town and full on stab, we're gonna start to see little spikies. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up. Kinda. You can see some fuzziness here. It's from it coming through the other side. Alright. So tonight, I don't know what I'm doing tonight. I guess probably more editing. We're not bonus streaming this week. We will be next week. We will be streaming some Katamari next Thursday when it comes out, the new one, on Steam. That I definitely plan on doing. I need to do a graphics update before we do that. I do have a few more episodes of Little Gnome Galaxy I need to edit. Because that's going to be going live on the channel the end of the month at the moment. I've got it penciled in, I think, for the end of the month. Possibly like the 1st of November, somewhere around in there. Second half of this year has just been flying. Alright, so. Oh, oh, my tail. Like, twisted here. That's not good. This section of the body. Alright, so let me kind of hold that into place while I get that kind of anchored in there. I mean, I'm not really surprised that that happened since I was working on the one side so much. Well, did I show you what my mom's Christmas gift is going to be? I haven't gotten very far on it, as I am still very much learning. But I'm learning to embroider a bit. So far, I'm pretty happy with how it's come out. This was the color that they didn't give me enough of, or I misunderstood how many loops those flowers were supposed to be, so I had to go and get some more floss. And after I got that, while I was there getting that pack, I was like, you know what? This other pack kind of has some similar colors. So I'm gonna grab this pack too, just in case I start to run low on somebody else. That way I don't have to completely panic. And I'll have some kind of option to figure out. But I think that color, they didn't exactly say how many times I was supposed to be doing those knots. So, I'm beginning to think I was only supposed to do like one. Potentially. But I still don't think I would have had enough thread there with all the stuff they wanted me to do with the remainder. They only gave me 2 strands of it. I was like very, very confused. I was like, what am I supposed to do with so little of this? Like, this doesn't make sense. Especially when the one thing I was reading, or watching about how the one stitch that they wanted me to use in part of it, was very resource heavy, and I was like, okay, then why did they give me so little here? Even split, it wasn't going to be enough. I was very, very confused about that. Okay. So, slugga, slugga, slugga. I want to get this main body color done today, because I still need to build your display log. And that's going to take a little bit. But at least this way I only have to work on you 1 day a week. And I don't have to stress too much. Like working on it like 18 hours to try to get it finished. I did feel a little silly when we first started working on it, but now I'm like, no, that was a good time to start working on it. For sure. Okay. So work on stabbing that in down here. As best as we can. My tail did get a little twisted here. It's not terribly twisted, but it is twisted a little bit. So I just want to try to get all of this worked into here. As best as we can. Okay. So we've got a little bit more that needs to happen on this tail area. That is a little thin spot. Come here, you. I swear that looks like a piece of bean hair. Probably was. Okay. That we are gonna anchor on into there. You know, as best as we can. I still have some polyfill on the tip here that is poking out that I still haven't filled in, that I kind of need to figure something out with that soon. Okay. So we're getting there, right? We have just this little bit. Like, we're starting to come around to the other side now. And then I just need to finish up our tail section. I mean, my goal was to at least get this gold color done, or this, like, mustard. Ugh. Okay. Alright, now, let's see. Get this tacked down there. I mean, we still have to do our little skirty bit around the edge of the body. But, oh gosh, I'm a little over. So we still have to do that after we get the shading on the body sorted. And then I have to do the face last. And I haven't figured out if I'm gonna do Google eyes on the eye stalks. I might, just because it's tradition. Because all of his derby creatures that I have made for him have had them, and I think I still have some that are small enough to fit. Okay. So I have a little bit of a thin spot in there that I need to come back in and do something with. Potentially, although it's not so bad. I don't know. We'll see what happens with how I decide to cover this little nub here. That might determine if I add another little bit to that. We will see. Actually, I might not get any editing done tonight. Kinda depends. Have a busy evening planned. for myself. Okay. So we're almost filled in around the brown here. Slowly but surely getting there. Alright. So this guy. Yeah, I'm gonna need to add a little bit to that, I think. Just because of the way that the other piece there was kind of filling in. I'm surprised that filled in like that, but sometimes fiber is gonna fiber, no matter what you do. I'm gonna come back up here. And work on filling in this section. Because we're getting there. Slowly. One stabby bit at a time. We are slowly stabbing our way through this guy. Now, when I get done the seahorse, probably switch over to maybe doing a little bit of stream work on my mom's. Kind of depends on how long it takes me to finish hers, or finish the seahorse, really. Like, next week we'll be working on the gold spokes that are coming off of the seahorse. And then I need to trim everything in gold. Just to kind of give it that last bit of pop that it needs. Okay, so this guy I'm gonna kind of sit like right up into here. Because that was a little thin in there. Not terribly thin, but it was enough of a thin spot that it kept catching my eye a bit. So if that's gonna be how it wants to be, then we're just gonna throw another bit of overlapping onto there. Because at that point, we might as just well. Okay. So we've just got this little section left here of our polyfill peeking on through. It's just being a little bit stubborn. And that happens. So that is the bottom. Alright, so this guy. Start anchoring down about into here. It's like I do want that little bit of overlapping happening. It just fills things in a little bit nicer that way. Okay. So if anybody's working on their own little projects and they want to share, feel free to tag me on Blue Sky. I still have my Instagram, but I haven't been posting over there. Okay. So, got just a little bit more to go here. Just a little bit. There's a light at the end of this color tunnel. Slowly but surely. Ever so slowly. Okay. Who is getting fussy? Hey. Mr. Bean. That's not okay. He has moments where he discovers he has a tail. And then starts attacking his tail. He is such a spaz. And is in very much play mode all of the time. And the other guys are older. Little's the youngest. But she's not really got the kitten play mode energy anymore. She's very much leave me to my bird watching and catnapping stage of life. Okay, so we just have the little nubby and then this spot. Okay. So let's see if this is gonna be enough to fill this part in here. We'll see. So make sure that we are well and truly stuck in there before I move on to working on our little remaining nubby spot. And I see one more section that we still need to fill in here. This is still pretty thin there in that particular spot. Stabbing, 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 our yarn. Okay. So I still have to figure out this. So maybe we attach it about here. As best as we can. Kind of wrap it around. Really might be our best option here. Okay. Get that works into there. Man, that section on the end there. That is gonna be Stubborn City. Tends to be at times. I mean, we made a good dent in it, but not quite good enough. So I'm gonna try to wrap the other way and see if we can get this covering the end here. Hopefully. Hopefully. We're getting there. Just trying to be a little bit careful with how we work this last bit into place. So that way I don't have to come back at it again. Hopefully. This section is proving to be rather difficult here. Hold on a second, everybody. So let's keep tapping in this section in here. And it's still kind of loose there on the tip. But at this point, I'm not sure that there's anything else I can do to really tighten that up. Okay, so I've got one last little spot here that needs just a little bit more yellow. Sorry, it felt like I could have dabbed that a little bit more. I'm anxious to be done this color, but I still need to take the time. Oh gosh, no, it is still being fussy. Hold on. Let me finish securing this section. Are you gonna be much longer? Do I need to go?
Maybe like a couple minutes.
What part are you on?
Third part.
Okay. So I'm just gonna try to stab this section in. Down in here. The best I can. Hopefully get this little tiny spot that is being so fussy covered up here. Okay, that's probably as good as that is going to get. Now, let me close up that color. I'm still not completely sure that I've got this tail as attached as it should be. Alright, but I think I need to stop here for today because I'm getting like skin crawly sensation sometimes. Sometimes it happens when I do this, when I'm like stabbing through sections that are a little bit more dense. That's a me issue. But hey, we got the body filled in. So next week on this guy, the plan is to start coloring in our section up here with our darker gold color, maybe a little touch of our green on the edges, and maybe a little touch of our rust color in there as well. And then when I get that done, I'm going to work on our little, I don't know if this is a flange or just some little like side fringes that we're going to add down the length of the body on both sides. So yeah, we've got that bit still to go. And then I still have to make the head, and then we still have to make the display log that we're going to attach him on into. So we've got a little bit ways to go left on this project, but we should be done in plenty of time for the holiday. So I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today and popping in and checking out the progress on this one. I know this one's a little bit slow going, but we're getting there. We're getting there. I hope to see everybody tomorrow for Planet Zoo. We'll be working on that learning center, and then if we have enough time, we'll start to plan out the wild boars habitat. But we'll see, because I still have to figure out the staff building placement for all that. So we'll figure that out as we go. So don't forget to follow the social links down below. That'll take you to the Ko-fi page, which is like Patreon, the Blue Sky, which is like X-Twitter, but slightly nicer place to be, in my opinion. And we also have a link to the YouTube channel. There is a link to the eBay store, but I don't have anything up for sale at the moment. I might post some stuff up there over the winter before the farmers market season comes back around, but we will see about that. So I hope everybody has a good rest of your day, and until next time.